I wonder how many people can remember what it was like to ride on a tram. I can, just. I don't mean the modern super-duper glidey trams, which are being reintroduced in several parts of the country. I mean the trams originally designed in the Victorian era, which were the 19th century response to the need to transport large numbers of a growing urban population cheaply and efficiently about the new towns and cities. After a few experiments with horses, steam and cables, the Victorian entrepreneur finally settled for electric power, with Blackpool leading the way in 1885. And that was substantially the technology which prevailed for over 60 years, until they began to withdraw the trams in the 1950s. When trams were first introduced, the Victorian streets were already congested. The addition of these lumbering 60-foot-long Leviathans, capable of seating up to 70 passengers, can't have helped. They changed the look of the streets as well. An unsightly cat's cradle of overhead wires brought power to these vehicles. And rails had to be set into the cobbled road surface to allow these 15-ton monsters to move along at up to 25 miles an hour. Often single track, if you were following behind them, they had an alarming habit of swerving left without warning from the centre of the road when they came to a dual track passing point.
Good afternoon everybody, welcome to Crich Trackway Village, the home of the National Tramway Museum. I'm one of the band of museum guides here, and what I'd like to do to start with is tell you a little bit of history about this site, and then I'll take you down the street.
Once the trams had been withdrawn, of course, as is the way with the British, a preservation society soon sprang up. The Tramway Museum Society, based in Derbyshire.
Mid-1800s. And the member of the TMS that came up here looked at the site and thought, this might make a good tramway museum here. And the National Tramway Museum was born. And by 1963, a horse car operation was started from the bridge you can see here down to the end of the street, which you'll see a bit more clearly when we get to the bottom of the slope. And then in 1964, a great milestone was achieved.
Redundant buildings from the area were selected by the TMS, dismantled and carefully re-erected at Crich to recreate a complete village of public places, houses and shops. Cast iron is everywhere. From Leeds, there's a plaque displaying hackney carriage fares. From Manchester, a Victorian pillar box. From Liverpool, an ornamental tram stop. And from Birmingham, a tall, ornate pillar which once ventilated an underground public convenience.
The gates there actually came from the Birmingham fruit and vegetable market. And the railings, the blue railings alongside the depot.
Some lovely shops here in an old building, and Mr. Grierson has got a shop here, and it's established 1896, and I think it's number 5 shop. And there's an advert, and I wonder when this is. It says, "What will you do in the long, cold, dark, shivery evenings when your health and convenience compel you to stay indoors? Why? Have a phonograph, of course. It's the finest entertainer in the world. There's nothing equal to it in the whole realm of art. It imitates any and every musical instrument, any and every natural sound faithfully." And there is a picture of the Edison home phonograph, which obviously works on cylinders.
Dear Mr. Edison, I am profoundly indebted
and got a big horn coming out of it. Every home, it claims, will sooner or later have its phonograph as a necessity. Have yours now. You'll enjoy it longer, and brought within the reach of every family by Mr. Edison's last production at 2 guineas. And no doubt when you'd bought it, you'd make your way home by tram. Let's climb aboard and relive that experience.
Hold tight, please.
I'd forgotten how hard the varnished wooden seats were, and how noisy it was. Reminds me of the underground. And here comes the conductor, with his large leather money pouch and a bell punch ticket machine. Not seen one of those for 30 years. A tram can be driven from either end, and I'd forgotten the ritual which accompanies this changeover.
That's as far as we go. We can all stand up, please. Turn your seats round. We're going back.
Of course, that was it. As soon as we reached the terminus, we boys would dash along the top deck, pushing the backs of the seats over so that they were facing the right way for the return journey. Bet you can't do that on the modern trams.
Hold tight, please.